What's up, everybody? My name's Anthony. I'm here to talk to you guys about the latest episode of Dark Matter. Now, before I get into this recap of episode 8, I gotta address something because the last recap that I did for episode 7, everybody came for me in the comments for missing a crucial point in the series. And, I gotta come clean. I'm a human. I'm a normal person. I just do this for fun. I'm not a full-time YouTuber, just do it on the side. I don't get paid a lot of money. This isn't my life. So I did miss that crucial point at the end of the episode, and I'm just a normal guy. I didn't realize that it was, different, little band on his finger that you had to zoom in to see, and I didn't watch the episode on audio description. So, because I watched it normally. A normal person. But I did miss the point that the Jason at the end was Jason 6 apparently, and that changes everything going forward. And in this episode recap, oh boy guys, I learned from my mistake. I learned from it, and I watched the episode on audio description, and oh boy, is there crazy stuff going on. So as always, guys, if you are new to this channel, don't forget to check out the other episode recaps that I've done for Dark Matter over here. You can watch the last episode where everybody just destroyed me because I didn't see that it was Jason 6. And they got mad at me in the comments. Really mad for some reason. It's just a TV show, guys. Just a TV show. And without further ado, guys, let's get into episode 8 recap titled Jupiter. The episode starts out with evil Jason coming down the stairs and asking Charlie where Daniela is. Charlie says that she went to Ryan's house to check on him. Jason takes the trash from the house and takes it outside to throw it away when he is attacked by another version of himself, Jason 7. The two fight for some time and evil Jason ends up killing Jason 7 in the end. We jump to Daniela as she meets with Ryan and his girlfriend, but this is not the Ryan that she knew. Rather, this is Ryan 3, who has no memory of Daniela and is confused by his current situation. Ryan says that he was having drinks with someone he never met and ended up here. Daniela shows him a picture of Jason on her phone, and Ryan says that's the person who he was with. Cutting back to good Jason at the hotel, he starts to get ready for his final face-off with evil Jason when he leaves his room and sees another version of himself, Jason 8. Jason 8 runs back to his room, and good Jason takes the elevator out of the hotel. Outside, another version of Jason, Jason 9, wearing a baseball cap, starts following him. Jason eventually loses Jason 9 and enters the tap bar. Matt asks Jason if he is okay, and Jason says that he needs a drink. Matt looks at him surprised and says that was quick, and asks Jason if he wants the same. Jason confusingly nods and takes the drink as he sees another Jason sitting at the booth. Matt looks at what Jason is looking at and sees the other Jason as well. And the look that Matt is giving the other Jason while he's looking at Jason right in front of him, is the same look that all of us watching this show, seeing all these multiple Jasons and getting hella confused, are looking like.
I'm extremely confused.
You're confused. I'm fucking confused, bro.
Me too.
Jason sits down with another version of him. This is Jason 10, and the two talk about how the situation has happened. Jason 10 says that this was bound to happen and that different versions of himself would make it back to this reality. Good Jason says that every choice that they made another version of himself. Jason 10 says that all the versions of himself think that they are Jason 1 and that they all want the same thing, to be with their family. Jason 10 says that he will do anything to get his family back and leaves Jason some money to pay for their drinks. Good Jason leaves the bar shortly after Jason 10 and watches him as he enters the same hotel where he has a room too. Jason decides not to go back to the hotel and walks the opposite direction. The next morning, Good Jason gets some breakfast at the diner and then pulls out a cigar and starts to smoke. A lot of the guests start to complain about Jason smoking, and he is eventually taken to jail by another version of Dawn 3. Back at the Desson home, Daniela asks evil Jason if he could take Charlie to school, and Jason agrees, and Daniela says that she has some work to do. During the drive, Charlie says that he thought he was going to take him to a tour of the university campus. Jason readjusts and takes Charlie to see the school. At the school, Jason sees another version of himself, Jason 11. Jason tells Charlie that he's going to show him more of the campus, and Jason 11 follows. We cut back to Daniela as she uses bolt cutters to go into evil Jason's storage unit and sees that Jason has a phone that has pictures of her, Charlie, and good Jason. She also finds some coveralls that look like a mechanic's that has the name Ryan on it. And this is key because it pretty much confirms what Ryan 3 has been saying to Daniela and everybody else, that he's a mechanic and that he has no recollection of what is happening. But of course, Daniela is still piecing everything together, and it just kind of confirms what Ryan has been saying. So she's like totally confused and weirded out about what's going on. And towards the end of this episode, I mean, poor Daniela goes through a lot, and we'll talk about it, but damn. Daniela gets a call on her phone, and the caller ID says no caller ID. We then come back to evil Jason and Charlie at the university as Jason tries to lose Jason 11. Jason tells Charlie to meet him outside and that he will meet up with him soon. Charlie leaves and Jason runs up the stairs of the university library, and Jason 11 follows him. The two start to fight, and evil Jason once again ends up killing another version of himself. Cutting back to good Jason getting released from jail and being greeted by Daniela. Daniela is mad at him because she had to bail him out. Good Jason tries to tell Daniela what has happened, and he says that she should try to call him so he can prove that what he is saying is real. Daniela calls Jason's phone, and evil Jason picks up. Jason tells Daniela that they need to come up with a plan to get away from evil Jason, and asks Daniela to come up with something because if he thinks of a place, evil Jason might think of the same thing too. Daniela asks Jason how this is possible, and Jason tells her that it's not just evil Jason, but there are others. Daniela says that she has to get Charlie, and Jason asks her to make a safe word so that they know it's him. Daniela says the safe word is Jupiter. Before Daniela goes into the house, she starts to call Charlie, but ends the call midway and starts to type out a text telling Charlie to meet her outside and don't tell his dad. But she stops, second guessing everything that is happening, and deletes the text and goes inside the house. Inside the house, Daniela asks evil Jason what is going on as she sees him packing stuff up. Jason says that they need to leave because something happened with his business deal with Leighton, and Jason screams at Daniela to hurry up and pack. Daniela goes over to Charlie's room to try to tell him that they are in danger, but Jason interrupts and tells Daniela that he is sorry and that he just needs her to hurry up and get ready. Daniela goes downstairs and starts to type out a text to Charlie warning him, and evil Jason comes down and asks what she is doing, and she replies nothing as she sends the text to Charlie's phone. Charlie's phone chimes as it is on the kitchen table, and both Daniela and Jason look at it with surprised looks on their faces. Daniela grabs Charlie's phone and hands it to him, who goes outside and puts his bags in the car. Daniela goes to get her suitcase from the basement and asks Jason if he can help her. Jason follows, and then Daniela pushes him down the stairs, knocking him unconscious. Daniela runs outside and gets into a car with Charlie and drives off, but is cut off by another car, and Jason pops out and calls for the two to get into the car. Daniela and Charlie get into the car with Jason, but Daniela figures out that this is another version of Jason, Jason 12. Jason 12 crashes into a car that has another version of himself, Jason 13, and Daniela and Charlie get out of the car and run away. Soon, Charlie and Daniela meet up at the planned location where good Jason is waiting, and Daniela asks him for the safe word, and Jason replies Jupiter. He gives Charlie a warm hug, and the episode ends. Holy crap, what a ride. Now, you guys won't get that mad at me, hopefully, because I think I got all the Jason numbers correct, okay? But speaking of the many Jasons, I don't know how I feel about them introducing this many Jasons, because I feel like, much like another series on Apple Plus where they had multiple realities and multiple versions of that person, a show called Constellation, that recently got canceled, and I think that was the main reason for that. It just confused the general audience. And I know that a lot of hardcore sci-fi people, this kind of multiverse and multi-reality stuff, they love it, they live for it, and it's easy for them to follow. But you gotta remember, everyone, that shows like this, you want general audiences to latch to and to be able to follow. So you got to dumb it down just a little bit. You can still have your little hardcore sci-fi stuff in there for everyone that, wants that. But you also got to have some stuff to let the casuals attach to. And that could be either, interesting characters that people can gravitate towards, or that can just be like really cool visuals and really big action set pieces. And I feel like for this show, you know, while I like it and I enjoy it, I feel like that the general audience might be lost with these last couple episodes, with this so many different Jasons popping around, and it might, I hope not, you know, I'm not saying it, but it might just end up in the same position as Constellation. But let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. You know, I hope that doesn't happen, because I like Dark Matter a little bit better than Constellation. I feel like it's a little bit more lighthearted, and it has like some, you know, funny moments, where Constellation was a little bit too serious at times, and kind of to its own detriment. The one big question that I had after watching this episode is, you know, are we going to have that final showdown between good Jason and evil Jason? I don't know if we are, because there's some things that we'll talk about in the theory section that I have some questions about, pertaining to one Jason in particular that we've met. So, of course, let me know what you think in the comments down below, if we're finally going to get that confrontation in the season finale next week between the OG Jason and the Jason number 2, or as I like to call him, evil Jason. But the biggest standout for me in this episode is Jennifer Connelly's performance. I think she did an amazing job. I mean, she didn't, you know, have to do that much talking just to express and show what she is going through in this entire episode. I mean, there's so much stuff going on. You know, she goes to Ryan, she believes Ryan, but she's like, it can't possibly be true that Ryan doesn't know who I am and he's a mechanic. And then she goes into the storage unit and she sees all this stuff, and it's like further confirming her suspicions. But in her head, she's like, nah, it can't be true. And then the whole multiple Jasons thing, like just her facial features alone, like was Oscar worthy or like award worthy to me, because I could really feel her confusion and her pain and her sadness and her fear as she was going through this entire ordeal. It was great. But as always, guys, let me know what you think of the episode so far. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite part? How do you feel about the whole multiple Jason thing? I think it's kind of possibly going to hurt the show, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. But let's get into the theory section of the video, where I just give my general thoughts or ideas of what could possibly be happening in the next episode or the season as a whole. So the first thing that I want to talk about is Jason 10. Now, this is the different version of Jason that we spend the most time with. Jason OG, or Good Jason as I call him, had a lengthy conversation with Jason 10, and I feel like Jason 10 story isn't done yet. I feel like he's the most interesting of the Jasons that we've seen so far. Granted that we didn't have that much time with the other Jasons, because, you know, we just saw them either trying to attack Jason 2 or just running around being scared. But Jason 10 did show that he had a scar and that his Amanda died during their journey, and he says that she died in a very dark world. And that immediately made me think of the world that we saw in a previous episode when Jason and Amanda opened the door and there was like some dark monster figure coming out. Maybe Jason 10 and his Amanda went into that world not knowing or not seeing that monster, and they got attacked and she passed away somehow. Maybe that was going on. But I do feel like that Jason 10 might be playing a bigger role in the episodes to come. He seems like the more smarter one, like on the same level as Good Jason. So I think that something between him and Good Jason and Evil Jason are going to happen. I'm really interested to see what's going on with that. But let me know what you think in the comments down below about Jason 10. Is he going to come back? I feel like that he is, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. And one question that I did have after watching this episode is, how many freaking Jasons are there? And that's the same question that Jason 1 is asking. You know, how many Jasons are there? And if we're going by just the conversation that Jason 1 and Jason 10 had, is that every decision and non-decision that they made during this time when they first had this encounter with Evil Jason, there has been multiple branches of themselves being created. So there's infinite amount of possibilities of Jasons being made, and I don't know how they're going to how they're going to do this. Because at the end of episode 8, we had counted 13 different versions of Jason in this world so far. And There could be possibly more coming out of the woodworks. Who knows? There could be Jasons that have been there already before longer than the other Jasons, and they're just watching this whole thing unfold. But my guess is that they're not going to go too crazy with it, and they're not going to be like, we're Jason 50, you know, they're not going to do that. I think they're going to keep it around 13 to probably like 2 more Jasons, like 15 or something like that. But I don't think they're gonna go that crazy with it, because if they do, I think they're gonna lose some people, even me. You know, you're gonna lose me. I'm like, okay, I had to watch every episode with audio description just to figure out what Jason is what. That doesn't sound fun. But of course, guys, let me know what your theories are in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about the whole amount of Jasons that there are in this reality that we're currently in. Do you think that evil Jason and good Jason are going to finally have that big battle that we've been hoping for? I don't know. Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. And remember, guys, keep watching.